Yo, what's good? Welcome back to Embers of the World, man. We back with another podcast, man. Today we're gonna be doing a little something different. Well, it's not really different. We're doing a little movie review. And I know y'all niggas wondering why I'm playing Joey Badass in the background, but this this movie starred Joey Badass and shit, man. I think this is not Joey's first acting role. Matter of fact, he was on Mr. Robot and shit. He was on all that other shit. He was on also he was on Wu Tang Clan, all that shit. So he type of experienced actor at this point, bro. He did a couple films, but this one was on Netflix and shit. I just realized I just watched it. I just watched it like a couple hours ago. Yeah, it's called Two Distant Strangers and shit, man. But yeah, man. I just want to talk about the movie and how I felt about the movie, cause you know, me personally, I'm not really a Netflix fan. I don't really watch Netflix like that, bro. Like Netflix be having whack ass movies, they be putting anything on Netflix nowadays. All these Netflix shows be whack as hell and shit. I mean, so I don't know, man. But let's talk about this movie though, real quick, man. Um, the movie's called Two Distant Strangers. You feel me? It's a short film. The movie's only 32 minutes too. Like it's not a long movie. I kind of like that shit though. I like short films. I mean, you might see some films coming in the future. You never know. But yeah, man. But yeah, so like this film, like first I want to talk about Joey Badass' performance in this film. Like I thought this was a very good performance from Joey Badass. Like he deserves a award for this performance. To be honest, I think it was very good. Like he did good. You know how actors come on films and they might seem kind of awkward on film. Like they might seem awkward and shit. They might seem like they just like reciting their lines or not putting no emotion in it. Like, but Joey Badass, he was pretty believable. Like he didn't seem awkward. He felt very comfortable on camera. He only did a couple films and shit. So I kind of fuck with that. I fuck with that. Joey Bad's performance was A1 on that shit. You feel me? You know, the white nigga, the cop doing it. I ain't really. His performance was kind of weird and shit. You feel me? I don't know what type of nigga they picked for that role, but he's kind of weird and shit. But yeah, man. So like the story of the film, what was going on in the film is basically Joey Badass is a young black man basically, and he's constantly having dreams about him getting shot down by the cops. You know, I don't want to give spoilers, but like that sense, it's not really spoiler. Like the originality of the film is not really original. Like I feel like I've seen a film like this before, like that certain story of the cops versus black people. So the story is not really original. I get what it was trying to do. They make it like it was a dream. Like he kept having dreams of the same thing. Like each scenario came out with the same outcome. That was basically the premise of what the director was trying to do. He was trying to make it state that like no matter what, the same thing's gonna happen in each scenario. Um, and yeah, so like the message that was really being conveyed in the film, what the director was trying to do, is just that the cops have it bad for black people. Like they have no training, but like it was very specific. Like they were particularly talking about a type of cop. I know the things that had been going on in the world and shit. They was trying to highlight that type of cop. The cop that does not use his intelligence, the cop that reacts off first impulse, the cop that acts off uses authority, overuses his authority, and cops that are racially discriminative. That's what was being portrayed. That's what the cop that was being portrayed in the film and shit. Um, Basically, they were just trying to state like how cops over abuse their power, particularly on black people, and they don't really assess the situation. Rather, they use brute force at all times. Um, and yeah, that was the message being conveyed. Like the story of the film wasn't really that complex. Like it wasn't really like you see like you see twists and turns in different movies. Like how like in Jordan Peele movies, like you see like in some of his movies he's trying to convey the message of race and stuff, but he also uses like different like Easter eggs and shit and symbolic messages to try to like convey the message in a unique way. But like I feel like this director didn't really do it as much. It was like the better I got it, like even like first 10 minutes of the movie, I got what the movie was trying to do. No, I mean the film was trying to do. Like it didn't have me sit back thinking about like how can this is about race, but also has a little bit of this. And I didn't really get that from watching the movie as much, you know. Um, and yeah, basically, so yeah, like this movie was just like pretty straightforward what the message was trying to be conveyed. Um, And yeah, I have, but personally, I have a problem with the message of what the movie's being conveyed. Like throughout the movie, without giving too much, you can really sense that like Joey Badass was a fearful person. Joey Badass' character was a very fearful person. You know, he's fair. He was very fearful of like his interactions with police. You know, I think we get the media and everything around us like misconfused that they're always gonna be bad people. Whether they're you might run into a bad doctor, you might run into a bad policeman, you might run into a bad fireman, you might run into a bad teacher. The uniform that a person wears does not automatically reflect their character. And I think we kind of like get that lost today. Everything that's going on, Black Lives Matter movement, all that shit going on, we get lost in that. And I think like it's not a good thing to live with fear. Joey Bad's character was having constant dreams. He said he had 99 dreams of him getting shot down by the police. You know, I think that's a bad thing to live with fear. I think you should always be prepared. I think you should be prepared rather than be fearful. I think you should be optimistic, so you won't seem fearful when you're around these cops that shouldn't have authority over you. People don't realize that when you leave, when you had that always that antsy thing, they're gonna sense that. It's gonna make them feel even powerful. The wrong ones. So I think I don't really like how the message is being conveyed. You know, I agree with like I think it should be awareness for the people who died from police brutality. That's obviously people should be aware. But for them to make like broad statements of like how yeah all cops are like these, it's not like that, man. And I think this is since this is a short film as being prepared on Netflix, it's putting that message into the main light, that all cops are like that and shit. Feel me? While they're not, you feel me? Me personally, bro, like I'm not really fearful of no cop. You feel me? I know in the back of my mind that it's gonna be a fucking dickhead cop at all times. I deal with dickhead cops too. But it doesn't make me like cast them under all one umbrella. I don't do that shit for sure. That's not fair. That's not fair to that's for the person in uniform is not fair to myself. I'm being ignorant. Like casting somebody under one umbrella. That's not good. You know. Um. What's his name? I gotta bring up something. Like it's like collective guilt. You feel me? Like putting all cops under one umbrella just because of a couple incidents where cops misused their power and shit. And he did state one, and the cop did state in the film, like when they was having a conversation that, oh, I was bullied and shit as a kid. That's why turned the cop. And they're definitely right. They're definitely accurate with that. But that's not all cops though. You got to realize that. Just like how all black people are not criminals. You know, like you saying all cops is bad. That's stereotyping. You're doing the same thing. Like that's the only thing. That's the problem I have with the message in the movie. I understand like what they were trying to do, like trying to raise awareness for the people, and I appreciate how they did that at the end, where they show all the names of how they were how they were what am I about to say, how they were abused by authority, how they show all the names at the end of the film. I think that's very good that how they did that, but the whole premise of the film, I feel like it's gonna do more bad than good for the community of people, but the black community in particularly is gonna do bad more than good because, you know, black people, us black people, the thing that hurts black people today is that they live in fear of things that they shouldn't be fearful about. Like, why you be fearful of some things you can't control? You can't control other people how they're gonna act. There always gonna be dumb people out here. There always gonna be misled people out here that's gonna do stupid shit like think irrationally, and like have racist thoughts. Like it's always gonna be like that. Like it's not. I don't think me personally. I don't think that's a big problem. I think the main problem for black people is the mentality. Like don't be fearful of things that you can't control. Like I can go outside right now and a cop can stop me and shoot me in my eyes just because. That's his thing. That's a bad person. Just like if a black person kills me. What I'm saying? Like it's not fair, yo. If we're gonna make these type of movies, we gotta hold everybody accountable. Me personally, the only thing I'm fearful is if me getting a mistaken identity from another black nigga trying to shoot me. Feel me? thinking that I'm in an opposite gang with them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really fearful of a cop. If anything, I'm not fearful of anything. But if that's one thing I'll be scared of, you know, of a nigga seeing me and shooting me because I look like some nigga he got beef with. That's what I'll be scared of. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think I understand like what the movie was trying to do. You know, it's a short film, so I understand why they couldn't like do. Probably that's why because I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt. It was a short film. They couldn't really touch all targets as much as they wanted to, but um, I think the film is flawed in that perspective. You know, the message is just too. It's not original. You know, it's like the message is very redundant. Like I hear this message over and over again. You know, um, that's the only thing I really have a problem with. It's just that the message is just too redundant. You know, and it's very flawed. You know, it's not pacific. It's not like you're just using collective guilt. In my personal opinion, you know. And it's like not. I don't think that's really practical in everyday life for Black people. You know. Um. I don't think personally like a Black person should fare in America if you like just walking a cop just fuck with you out of nowhere every day. You know. He's making if a nigga having dreams like that, how he was having a movie, that means that it's happening every day. You know what I'm saying? That means it's happening every second for you to be having nightmares like that. The nigga was having nightmares in the movie, like it makes it seem like that shit happen every day, while it doesn't. You feel me? I had encounters with cops, but that shit happened like only 5 times in my life. You feel me? But they weren't violent encounters. You know what I'm saying? You know. And just keep in mind, bro, I'm not trying to like take away from the movie. Like that's not like I don't respect the people who died and shit. You know, nobody should ever lose their life to the hand of authority. You feel me? The wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You know, nobody should use it. There's nobody should lose their life if they're not being the threat. You know what I'm saying? At all. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, that's my thing on the movie. Um, my overall rating of the movie, I'll give that 7 out of 10. You know what I'm saying? I think I think Joey Badass. Excuse me. I think Joey Badass, like he did his thing in the movie. You know, that was a good performance. You know, do I think it should be an Oscar nominated short film? I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give it an Oscar nominated short film because it was very, even though the concept is not really original, you feel me? But I feel like Joey Badass did his thing. You know, he really conveyed his emotions. Really, you really believe that a nigga was scared to get killed by cops. He's having dreams every night. You know what I'm saying? I think that should be Oscar. You know what I'm saying? But my overall rating film is a 7 out of 10. I think it's just the message is type flawed in my opinion. Yeah, man. So that's my thing opinion the movie, man. But support Joey Badass. If y'all don't know, Joey Badass is my favorite rapper and shit, man. So I support anything he do. That's why I watch the movie. Usually when I see this type of movie, I wouldn't really watch it. You feel me? I don't really like having like that type of information being displayed to me. I feel like it's just gonna affect people like and mentally, bad. Like people gonna be thinking like really cops are stopping you. You gotta be scared of cops. You feel me? Watch the cops like you shouldn't be scared of no one right in the world. You feel me? You should always live with optimism. You know what I'm saying? Should never be fear of another man just because he had a uniform on. Hell no. I'm saying there's always gonna be fucking dickheads in the world, bro. I'm not gonna be, but just because you're in that certain group, I'm not gonna be scared of it. I'm not gonna be scared of the entire group. You feel me? I'm never fearful when I pass a cop, man. I just do what I gotta do, man. Just fuck it, man. I'm not gonna let them niggas make it think I'm scared, nigga, while I'm not. So, you know what I'm saying? Like we confuse like being courageous with like also being fearful. Like someone might say like this movie was courageous. I mean, I seen was fair to be honest, man. He was just expressing his fear. Usually, when you have nightmares, that shows like you're fear, like, something you're fearful of. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared as a black man. I'm a black man. I'm not scared of no cop. Feel me? At all. But I am aware that there are bad people. You know what I'm saying? And you should be aware that everybody can act irrationally no matter what. Nigga can have the same skin color as you. It does not matter, bro. Niggas have that ability to act irrationally at all times. So you always gotta be aware of that. You know what I'm saying? So don't get it fucked up, man. Like this have that note in mind that this nigga can cross you at any second. This nigga can kill you at any second. If you live like that, you wouldn't live with fear. You just live with rationale type shit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. So yeah. I fuck with Joey Badass though, man. I support anything Joey